Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Free Xenon, and this is my first time doing a live stream through Restream.io. And I'm trying to give this try for the first time, so I'm going to be streaming on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch at the same time. So I guess we'll see how well this works. So for those of you who are watching me on other platforms, Free Xenon. I've been involved in politics I've been blogging about politics for the last 15 years and going into my journey into politics, and I've been live streaming on Twitch for at least the last year or so. I even specifically dropped my affiliate status just so that I can pop on to these other services to expand my reach here. So today's stream is going to be fairly quick. I'm only going to spend about a half an hour here just for testing so I can see how well the service works and, do any tweaking before my stream tomorrow. So, oops. For those of you who don't know much about me, I've been blogging about politics for a long time. Here's my blog. I know my Twitch people are going to be sick of seeing that. I also have my own policy site, interstellarnewdeal.global, where I have policies there for just about everything. Education is fairly big. I'm also running for school board here as well. I ran last year as well. I've got electoral reform is one of my first policies that I wrote, starting in 2016, actually. Then U.S. Machine for War and Terrorism, Environment, Interstellar Humanity, and so on. But the most important part of my policies are actually going to be this first part here, the philosophical foundations. Of that is the eight philosophical pillars for peace within humanity. You can throw away all my policies, but just keep this, and this will be the foundation for all the change in the rest of the policies. The most important pillar is going to be this, interdependence. Interdependence is the most important philosophical pillar that's in my policies. If you were to restructure and reframe the way you think of everything through the lens of interdependence, then everything, the rest of my policies in some sort or form would follow. If you want to read more about those are here. Under Part 1, 8 Philosophical Pillars for Peace within Humanity. And if you want to find out even more about me, here's my About Me page, which has a crap load of stuff there that you can go ahead and check out. Yeah, okay. So normally what we do on my stream is and also, if you like what you see here, please go ahead and, follow, subscribe, hit the bell and whatever else, so you can get notification of when I go live. I also have a Discord. If you go to my Twitch page, I have Discord as well, and I'm gonna put out a blog page here in a little bit to go through the different ways you can get a hold of me. All right, so if you want to support me, here's my Patreon site. I just reformatted the whole thing to help support my blogging, my live streaming as well. All right, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. All right, so the first article we're going to go through today is this one here. We've gone through this one before. This is a really, really good site, and it really kind of encapsulates the way I kind of think about energy as well. This is really integrated into my policies. It's also amazingly, it mentions Earth ships as well. Earth ships are amazing. If you don't know what they are, let me see if that's why. Hold on. Let me close this down. All right, there we go. Okay, so this first one, decentralized microgridding can provide 90% of a neighborhood's energy needs, study finds. The new approach could even pave the way for 100% self-sufficiency in power, heat, and water. So here you'll see what these are basically Earth ships. I love Earth ships. If I could have one, I would just kill for one of these. Earth ships, they have their own power on them, green roofs and everything. Hey, how you doing? Analysis man, how you doing? Yeah, it's not my normal time, but giving a try to this Restream.io to get on these other platforms. Just in the process of kind of going over some of the previous things that we went over. Pleasant surprise, yeah. I would like to at some point switch my streaming to Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. At some point, I gotta basically restructure my life to kind of accommodate that. So we'll see. But that also means that instead of a Friday stream, I'll have a Tuesday stream, which will be 2 hours instead of 4 hours. So that'll be a bit of a loss in content that we go over. But yeah. And if you have anything you want to go over, throw it in there. We can take a look at it as well. These are just some of the more interesting, at least for me, posts that we've gone over before. Have you seen this one? Have we gone over this with you? Or have you been there when we've gone over it? This doesn't show it. Nope. Okay, good. Yeah, it is. This really kind of encapsulates the way I think about energy what you'll see here, and this is one of the things that I found really interesting about this post, is it also talked about Earth ships. I would kill for an Earth ship. Let me go ahead and bring this up. It's about, like, Earth ships have their own power generation through, they got solar, and they also have wind turbines. The Earthship people, Michael Reynolds, created his own sort of very durable sort of wind turbine to create electricity. These are sorts of houses that are supposed to be kind of off-grid and process their own water, collect their own water, heat their own water, passive solar, thermal, and all that sort of things. They're really, really cool. This is a little bit of a long post, but it's actually not that bad. But it's really interesting. And of course, this is about one of the Nordic countries doing all the cool stuff, because we can't do that sort of stuff here in the United States, right? Okay, so I've already shared it, so let's make this a little bit bigger. All right, so again, Dutch, Netherlands, right? Europe. This is from 2018, so this isn't new. This is like, well, little over 2 years old. A new report funded by the Dutch government finds that microgrid technologies could make a local techno-economy 90% self-sufficient through the decentralized sharing of energy at the local level between multiple households. The new approach could even pave the way for 100% self-sufficiency in power, heat, and water, and 50% self-sufficiency in food production, according to the report's author, energy systems engineer Fleuren de Graaf. And when I talk about my sustainability policies, I kind of approach it from that standpoint. One of the ideals of resource-based economies is localization. So trying to make your own food and energy and water and heat and all that stuff locally is a very good thing. And I kind of go into that here under sustainable communities a little bit, if you want to read at least a little bit more about that. I don't go into quite that much detail, but it's kind of mentioned there. Get back here. If optimized properly, microgrids could play a pivotal role in supporting efforts to transition to renewable energy systems and meet climate targets, finds the report published by Netherlands-based energy systems company Metabolic. The report was funded by the Dutch Ministry of Economic Affairs and the Netherlands Enterprise Agency. Under the Paris Agreement, the Dutch government has pledged to drop its carbon dioxide emissions by 89.5% by 2050. Okay, 2050, again, as you guys hear me bitch about this sort of a thing, 2050 isn't enough. The number we should be aiming for is 2030. mean, it's something. I mean, 95% by 2050 means what? Maybe 50% by 2030. We need to be much more aggressive at this. I mean, when I look at Biden's platform for environment, it's fucking laughable. Laughable. Mostly because he's aiming for 2050. It's going to be something that's going to be beyond his potential 2 terms. And if you're setting it at beyond your potential 2 terms, you're basically saying, well, it's not going to happen. So, anyhow, researching that goal will require an extraordinary level of effort by any standard. Hey, girl, how you doing? I'm doing an unusual Thursday night stream. How you doing today? Talking about microgrids, and of course, through one of the Nordic countries, the Netherlands. Microgrids are the bomb. But the use of microgrids, decentralized energy grids that intelligently balance the local supply of demand and of distributed clean energy resources, could avoid the need for massive spending on infrastructure upgrades. Now we'll still need a lot of decentralized stuff, but we'll need it less if we start focusing on decentralized grids. So our buildings and our houses provide their own, as much as of their own energy and their power, their energy and heat and water and food as they can. And they even talk about earlier, do you think we should build solar panels all across Texas? Texas is uniquely suited to use solar panels because they get so much sun. But what I would really like to see for Texas, and we talked about this on stream before, if Texas really wants to provide their own energy the way they should really start doing it, especially to create a very strong base load energy, will be to use tidal and ocean stream, because they have a crap load of ocean line. So I would start with that for base load power, and then after that, sure, wind and solar would work as well too for more intermittent stuff. But for that stuff, they really need to have batteries in place. And in my policies, I cover different sorts of there are different ways of storing energy that don't necessarily require the lithium-ion batteries. Oh, yeah, it is. It is. Of course, there's always losses involved. Yep, they could do that. Yep, so, tidal, and if they had access to geothermal, that would be probably the 2 base ways I would start with base load energy generation. And then you could use, the solar and the wind as a method of doing that. And if you want to get really fancy with it, solar panels in the African desert, but the transmission would have cost too much. Yeah, transmission can be an issue. Tidal, geothermal. If you use something like a power satellites, that'd be one way they could get around that. They could set up satellites in the sky to collect energy, and then they can beam it down. The efficiency of that is like 80% or something like that. Or there's also something I like, vertical axis wind turbines or high altitude solar using kite systems. This would be another way to potentially produce fairly decent base load energy instead of just using turbines, because if you have the kites go up high above, high in the air, you have a constant stream of air going on, so it'll consistently. Yes, geothermal and tidal, that's what we should be concentrating on. The issue, I think, I'm not sure how the geothermal will actually work. If you're near the coast, you should be near a fault line of some sort, because that's kind of where the coast is. So if you do, geothermal, I would like to get one too. It's a little more expensive, but if you can get it, it's really great, really, really efficient, and very consistent. And that's what we need to be concentrating on. Tidal, geothermal, and then you use solar and wind as intermittent support to build up batteries and that sort of thing. and talk about all that stuff, all that sort of stuff right here. Okay. I'll go ahead and throw this in here for you if you want to take a look at it. I have some links to that sort of stuff there too. Yep. And this article here, I'll go and share it since you just seem to pop in. This is on microgridding and earthships. This is another way to kind of do this as well. This picture here kind of shows what earthships look like. What they can look like. I haven't really seen this design before, but I would love to get an earthship. I would kill to get an earthship. Yeah, so these are earthships, and this is kind of, woo! Mouse just fell over. And that is the company that kind of, not the company, the organization that kind of spearheads that sort of a design. I would love to get one. Love to get one. All right, so down here, so they're talking about like when you have an Earthship, you've got energy production there, and if you have a microgrid, so you got your energy production on each of the houses. They've got batteries, and you can set it up so that the different houses share their energy between them. But also, if there's excess energy in the batteries, they can also export it to other people as well. And had Texas set up their houses like that, they could have prevented a lot of the problems that they had with, well, except for their brain damage from being conservative. This could have prevented some of those problems. There were some houses there in Texas that had, the Tesla Powerwall and the Tesla. I don't know if they had the Tesla solar panels or anything, but I think they had a Tesla Powerwall at least, and they had electricity for like a day or three or something like that. So distributed microgrids are a great way to help prevent problems like this. All right. According to the new report titled "New Strategies for Smart Integrated Decentralized Energy Systems by 2050, almost half of all EU households will produce renewable energy. Of these, more than a third will participate in a local energy community. In this context, the microgrid opportunity could be a game changer. It's not could be, it will be. The report describes microgrids as the end result of the combination of several technological trends, namely rooftop solar, electric vehicles, heat pumps, and batteries for storage. Now, I'm not so familiar with heat pumps. I'll need to look those up. But I keep seeing those being mentioned in this sort of combination, especially with, I think, geothermal as well. The key is that these technologies are decentralized. They can easily be owned by consumers and cooperatives in local systems. Now, I'm also a big proponent of cooperatives. If you have a small community, you can get together in a cooperative in that community and set up a small solar farm or small wind farm and share the energy between your small community. As time progresses, costs go down and climate awareness goes up. More and more people will start owning one or more of these technologies, DeGraff told me. Currently, he said, the way in which we use these technologies is, in his words, dumb. We simply attach solar panels, heat pumps, and electric vehicles to the grid for their own separate purposes. This dramatically increases the load on the local grid, requiring costly infrastructure upgrades to sustain them. And also, hydrogen is another one. There, E-Girl Slayer. It's we had an article on the Hydrogen House. If you look up Hydrogen House, I think it's the Hydrogen House Project. This guy got a bunch of money from the U.S. government to experiment with hydrogen. He basically spent a bunch, and he uses solar and wind turbines, and he converts that to hydrogen and stores the hydrogen gas by splitting through electrolysis, through splitting water. And then when he needs more energy, and if he doesn't have it in his batteries, he doesn't have batteries, it's stored in the hydrogen. He pulls the hydrogen in and then pulls the energy out from that way. So that'd be another way. Geothermal. No, not nuclear. I'm not a big fan of nuclear. It is not at all clean. That's my problem. I know people don't like me saying that, but I talk about that in here. Nuclear power here. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much my take on it too. I mean, no matter if anything bad happens, you've got a nuclear wasteland. Not that China. What was the Russian one? Oh my God, Chernobyl and the Japanese ones. I mean, those provide prime examples of the harm that's potential. Now, the one thing that people say is those are older models. Those aren't like fifth generation nuclear reactors. So, okay, sure. I get that. I get that. But still, all it has to happen is something horrible happen and you've got a nuclear wasteland. Chernobyl, again, is the prime example of that. We're not going to be able to claim that in our lifetime. And storing the stuff is problematic, although we have seen an article where they have the ability potentially to turn down, to take the radioactive material and basically almost get rid of it in like, I don't know, a month or something like that. What if a plane flies into a nuclear plant? Exactly. There's just, I mean, if something happens, we've got a nuclear wasteland. So just fuck that. Let's just use solar and all that sort of stuff. Plus, it takes a decade to build one of these. It is so fucking expensive. And it takes like a decade to get them built. In that time, we could have, double, triple the amount of energy being produced just through anything else. Specifically, if we replace nuclear with, geothermal, like I keep saying. Yeah, geothermal and tidal is probably the way to go. Yeah, that's what I would like to see. All right. It is expensive. It is very expensive, and it drives me nuts. All right, so this is where what the metabolic report calls SIDE systems come in, standing for Smart Integrated Decentralized Energy. SIDE systems provide a way to intelligently integrate different technologies to balance supply and demand locally in a way that prevents high cost. Now here they're talking, hydrogen, right? Electric boilers, wood stoves, electric heating, wind turbines, electric vehicles. Now, if I remember correctly, Tesla said that they shouldn't use their cars for microgrids, but I think they said that their semis could be used for microgrids, sort of a thing. So it'll be kind of a game changer if the batteries on these cars and stuff like that can be used safely in a microgrid, because then you always have access to that battery supply on your cars. This integration should be done through an intelligent energy management system that will charge your car when the sun is shining and export excess electrical energy to your neighbor's heat pump. A smart grid, said DeGraff. Ultimately, this smart decentralized integration democratizes energy production and consumption and allows consumers and cooperatives to take control of their own energy supply, which will help facilitate the renewable energy transition from the bottom up. All right, how long have I been going here? 20 minutes, okay. All right. Now, they talk about Earth shifts. Now, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm glad you found something here that you enjoy. If you want to support me, I have a Patreon as well. I just remodeled this for the most part for our for my shift over to Restream.io, because I dropped my affiliate status to be able to give this a try. All right, so Earth ships are amazing. You follow you on? Oh, do you? Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. The metabolic report's findings are based on real-world data extracted from 4 cases in Amsterdam. One of the cases that stood out is the Ardehuizen, a near self-sufficient eco-village consisting of 23 Earthship houses. Oh, this is amazing. Oh, this is your phone account? Oh, okay, cool. There's someone else that has like a whole bunch of different accounts, and yeah, he follows me that way too. So thank you, I appreciate that. But 23 Earthship houses, that is just amazing. Mostly using recycled, locally sourced, and low-impact construction materials, the Earthship design focuses on minimizing the ecological footprint of its inhabitants, explains the report. The system in place at the Artesian include heat pumps, electric boilers, solar thermal, and photovoltaic panels, wood stoves, and grid connections. I wonder about the wood stoves. I'm not a big fan of that for, obvious climate reasons. The report found that Artesian's energy systems was overall significantly cheaper in the long run than a conventional grid-powered energy system. But that was without installing a side system. The report simulated what would happen if the Artesian implemented an intelligently managed microgrid with more sophisticated local supply and demand mechanisms. So basically, installing the kind of the software that can manage a microgrid for the small area, kind of like right here. If you're to right here, connect all of the energy systems into this area and turn that into kind of a small electricity distributor so that it can manage the ebb and flow of electricity in the different houses and do it efficiently. This would entail a whole suite of interconnected technologies, a community battery storage system, smart meters which actively monitor the entire system, air-to-water heat pumps intelligently managed according to actual demand, local energy trading between the houses so they can exchange surplus, more electric vehicles, the use of combined heat and power units, which generate both heat and electricity using biomass, and the installation of a local district heating network to distribute heat to multiple houses. Oh, okay, yeah. Of all of the case studies, the Artesians show the most promise, reaching almost fully 89% self-sufficient and techno-economically feasibly energy system. You have B. What's BV? BV. What's BV? Biologic valves? Bicameral vehicles? Bickering Vickies? Girly Bear. Hey girl, how you doing? Yeah, I'm doing a test stream. I'm streaming on restream.io, and I'm just testing it out on Thursday night just to see how it works. Yeah, I'm almost going to be quitting here in a little bit. I'm going to end this. I'm going to finish reading this, which is going to happen soon, and then we'll call it a night. How you doing? Oh, Restream.io. Restream.io allows me to stream to different services at the same time, basically simulcast. So right now I'm streaming to Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube all at the same time. I actually dropped affiliate status to give that a try. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. You have a Tesla charger? Oh, nice. Cool. I would kill to get a Tesla as well. Give me a Earthship with a Tesla, and I'll be a happy man. Applying this model means, yeah. So this time this is the first time I'm doing this with Restream.io. I'm streaming to 4 different services at the same time. So yeah, it should be there. Yep, right here. So I'm hoping to build up a few more people for my audience instead of the amazing bunch of people on Twitch. So I can get, not instead of, but in addition to that, so I can increase the breadth of my audience. All right, such results, he added, are easily scalable and replicable to the rest of the world. There would be limits, though, depending on national policy and regional factors like electricity prices, feed-in tariffs, wind speed, solar radiation, and local regulations. Of course, these could be a help or a hindrance, but DeGraff was optimistic. I don't have YouTube listed in your follow me. I don't. You're right. I will update that. Thank you for pointing that out. Write that down. All right, I will add that. Woohoo! Yeah, I've got a blog post I've started, that a blog page that I have started to help aggregate all that. Jimmy Baker, how you doing? Welcome. How you doing? And what's your thing on Twitch? What's your handle on Twitch? Oh, you're on YouTube. Fancy. I think you're the first one from YouTube. Yeah, nice. Yeah, so this is my first time doing a live stream using Restream.io. I'm restreaming to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch at the same time. So it's it's interesting. It's interesting. Hopefully I can expand my audience. So yeah, I'm almost done with my stream right here. I'm just gonna finish reading this one article. I'll go ahead and throw this one out here again so you guys can take a look at it if you're new, like Jimmy is. Yeah, I'm my grandparents call me Jimmy, but that's pretty much it. I'm James or Jim, because I'm grumpy. All right, so where were we? I think we're down here. Yeah, here we are. So, with the unstoppable emergence of electric vehicles, solar panels, heat pumps, and batteries, we'll start seeing more and more of these microgrids emerge, he said. The decentralization of our energy system is therefore an unstoppable force that will have a big impact on our renewable energy future. Still, this could well represent only the beginning of what is possible. The end goal of the metabolic team's technology researches a concept called smart hoods. This is exactly how I think about it. So, inputs, wind, solar, biomass, rainwater, outputs, food, water, energy. Exactly. And this is very strongly what Earthships do. Earthships are built to grow their own food inside. I mean, it's not a lot, but you can definitely grow food in there. You have like basically kind of a self-contained greenhouse in there. So you can grow amount of food. They have water collectors and, of course, solar panels and that sort of a thing as well. The project aims to design an urban system which integrates decentralized food, water, and energy flows in order to create a nearly fully self-sufficient neighborhood. It works based on the principle of circularity, recycling water, materials, and waste as much as possible within the system. Now, when you look at my policies, kitchen sink. Hey, man, how you doing? Yeah, I'm almost done. I'm just doing a quick test on in the evening here so that I can test out Restream.io so I can stream to different things. Yeah, I'll still stream tomorrow. Yep, at my same bat time, same bat channel. It'll be 11:30 U.S. Central till about 2:30, 3 o'clock. Yep. Did just a quick stream in the evening here. Looks like it's working pretty well. Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you're excited. But circularity, the circular systems, that's exactly what we need to be doing. Because of the Donut Economics book, I restructured, a small part of my environmental policies here. Well, let me just pull it up here. Let's see. Here we go. Regenerative, open source, circular economies. Circular is what we need to do. Our current simulations show it should be possible to become 100% power, heat, and water, and 50% food self-sufficient, DeGraff said. Living in a smart hood will instantly reduce one's ecological footprint by near 40%. We envision it as the circular, resilient neighborhood of the future that solves many of the 21st century's greatest challenges. The simulations demonstrate the potential viability of this model. The next step, which De Graaf and his team are working on now, is to execute it on the ground in Netherlands, and from there to encourage neighborhoods around the world to take it up. We need to follow this a bit more because this is pretty amazing. And this could be even larger if they expanded this to not just single homes, but up here, instead of this being individual homes, that maybe this is a small apartment complex. So maybe you've got 10 here, 10 here, 10 people, 10 families here, and then it's spread out a little bit more so they have more access to green space. And then maybe the centralized area here will have a little more space around it for maybe a park, a small, small internet provider, a place for people to take all the food that they've grown that is accessed, so they can bring it there and sell it or just give it to people in the small community to use. And even around here, instead of having trees around here, they could kind of follow the Venus Project model. And if they were super organized, they could actually have farms around here and then maybe energy production around there too, and then drive that in here to the central community center and distribute it to the others that way as well. That's kind of the Venus Project model. That's kind of what I would push towards doing too. Okay, so that is all I have for today for this initial test. We just got through just this one article. If you haven't seen it, please go and read it and share it to other people on social media as well, because this is a really great idea. And it's a good article, even talking about Earthships, which are amazing. Thank you. And again, I stream tomorrow again at 11:30 U.S. Central, and I'll be on Saturday as well at 3 o'clock U.S. Central as well. So if you like what you hear here, go ahead and follow me, and you'll get a bit more of it tomorrow and Saturday as well. So at the end of my streams, I usually give everyone a chance to say any random comments or thoughts that are in their head. Yep, sounds good, Grizzly Bear. Have a great night, and it's good to see you again. It's almost like I don't know when the end of my stream is until you pop in. That's funny. Anybody? Anything? Last minute thoughts? Yeah. I appreciate your support. I do. Thank you so much. Gifting me with your time. I appreciate that. All right, last call for comments. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a great night, and we will see you guys tomorrow. I'll be on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch and Twitter and all that sort of stuff too. So if you want to try me there as well, you can do that. And also, if you're on those areas, if you're on those social media, feel free to share my go live things too as well, so that I can increase my audience too that way as well. So, all right, everyone, have a great night, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Just me and you, let's make up all the rules. Count to 10 and watch the stars turn blue. Watch the